A TikTok discussion has highlighted concerns over political engagement in Sembawang West, with a TikToker alleging she has never met her Member of Parliament, MP, in 8 years. The discussion comes as Singapore Democratic Party Secretary-General Dr. Chee Soon Juan announced his candidacy for the newly created Sembawang West single-member constituency in the 2025 general election. Sembawang West SMC was established after the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee released its report on 11th March. It was previously part of Sembawang Group Representation Constituency. On 24th March, So Wan Wei, founder of AI Visionary Society, posted a TikTok video reflecting on her past voting choices and political engagement.
In the last 2 elections, I voted PAP. My Sembawang area was a GRC, yet interestingly, upon reflection, I don't recall ever meeting my PAP MP in person over the past 8 years. Now, with the recent electoral boundary changes, Sembawang area, my area, is now a SMC. So for the first time, I'm really paying very close attention because just 5 hours ago, Dr. Chee Soon Juan announced that he's contesting here. My mom even met him at the market this morning. Now, I've seen Dr. Chee work the ground really hard in Bukit Batok for the past don't know how many years. He is committed when so tough and very consistent throughout the decades. I bought his book and I found it very thoughtful and sincere. So now that I finally have a credible opposition candidate in my ward, I'm wondering if a bit of shake-up might be healthy for Singapore. After all, voting isn't just about the past, it's also about the future we want. So I'm curious to see which PAP candidate will stand in this Sembawang SMC. Do you think Sembawang residents will find it a tough voting decision this time? Let me know in the comments.
She stated that in the last 2 elections, she voted for the People's Action Party while living in Sembawang GRC. However, upon reflection, she alleged that she does not recall ever meeting her MP in person over the past 8 years. Following the recent electoral boundary changes, her ward has been redrawn into Sembawang West SMC. She noted that this change has prompted her to pay closer attention to the upcoming election, especially with Dr. Chee's announcement to contest the constituency. She shared that her mother had met Dr. Chee at a market, and that she had personally observed him walking the ground consistently in Bukit Batok, where he previously contested. He is committed, even when it's tough, and very consistent throughout the decades. I bought his book and found it very thoughtful and sincere, she remarked. So described Dr. Chee as a credible opposition candidate and questioned whether a shake-up might be beneficial for Singapore. After all, voting isn't just about the past. It's also about the future we want, she added. She also expressed curiosity about which PAP candidate would be fielded in Sembawang West SMC. In another video, So praised Dr. Chee's promise to hold regular town hall meetings if elected, stating that such engagement would help residents understand the possibilities for a better Singapore. Let's face it, inflation is hitting a lot of people hard. Many have commented about this as a huge pain point. It's clear that Singaporeans need solutions that actually help everyday people, she said. She also highlighted Dr. Chee's stance on unfair competition between local professionals, managers, executives and technicians and foreign workers. She expressed hope that political candidates would address the topic of AA, adding that she looked forward to a robust debate between Dr. Chee and the PAP candidate. Comments on So's TikTok video showed a mix of support and debate. Some users pledged their support for Dr. Chee, citing the need for checks and balances in Parliament. One comment stated that Dr. Chee would not be afraid to speak out if elected, while So remarked, any system needs some shock to become anti-fragile. Some TikTok users suggested that Dr. Chee, alongside other opposition members, could enhance transparency in Parliament. A comment also highlighted that Dr. Chee could have chosen to leave Singapore for a more comfortable life elsewhere, but instead chose to stay and fight for change. So agreed, noting that he is very passionate and principled about what he believes in. However, not all comments were critical of the incumbent MPs. Some users defended the PAP MPs, stating that they had been actively visiting residents, particularly during festive seasons. In response, So questioned why she had never seen her MP in her Housing Development Board, HDB block. Another user echoed So's sentiments, stating that they had also lived in Sembawang GRC but had not seen their MP in 5 years. This led to calls for voters to consider a change. Speaking to the media on 23rd March, Dr. Chee stated that his decision to stand in Sembawang West SMC was fueled by a steadfast commitment to you and your family. Reflecting on his work in Bukit Batok, he said, "I have poured my energy, dedication, and organizational competence into serving the residents there." Dr. Chee first contested Bukit Batok SMC in the 2016 by-election, securing 38.8% of the vote. In the 2020 general election, he improved his performance to 45.2%. However, the recent electoral boundary changes merged Bukit Batok SMC into the newly created Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC. Dr. Chee acknowledged that this transition was not easy. "You don't spend 10 years getting to know the residents, building up the community, entering their lives, and then have it yanked away from you with the stroke of a pen without feeling that void," he said. Nevertheless, he pledged to bring the same dedication and enthusiasm to Sembawang West. "I am ready to bring the same passion here," he stated, adding that he sees the constituency as a vibrant community full of promise, one that can shine as a beacon for all of Singapore. While Dr. Chee is the first confirmed candidate for Sembawang West SMC, the National Solidarity Party has also indicated interest in contesting the seat.
By now you would have known that I'm coming to this single seat, SMC, stand as a candidate. So this morning, we're all here to announce my candidacy for Sembawang West SMC. But that means that I have to leave Bukit Batok, and I do it with a heavy heart. You don't spend 10 years getting to know the residents, building up the community, entering the lives of the residents there, and then have it yanked away from you with the stroke of a pen without feeling that void. I'll be very honest with you. We distributed our last flyer on the eve when they announced, the EBRC announced the report. I covered the last block of flats for flyer distribution at Bukit Batok. The following day, on Tuesday afternoon, I was half expecting it, but at the same time, when reality hits, it's not easy to accept. But that's where we are. I just want to thank the residents at Bukit Batok for allowing me into their community, allowing me into their lives, and it's something which I will treasure. But even as I come to this SMC, I'm not leaving Bukit Batok behind. You cannot leave them behind, because even as we go into Parliament, we do it for them and with them. But this is the game that we play. This very blatant, egregious gerrymandering that we have to contend with. It's beyond our control. But this morning, we're not going to talk about what we cannot control. We're here to talk about what we can control. And what we can control is this campaign here in Sembawang West.
It remains unclear whether the PAP will field Po Lee San, the current MP for the Sembawang West Division under Sembawang GRC, in the new SMC. Po has been part of the 5-member PAP team representing Sembawang GRC since 2020. She was also seen at an SDP gathering on Sunday, where she shook hands with Dr. Chee.